Here we are. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Almost a weekend now.
Yeah.
Any surprises so far?
Not so far. It's you never know, right? Are you ever fully 100% ready that the day of? Who knows, right? But that's why you hire great people. You get the best people around you, and typically when you start getting in the building and you get around the coaching staff, the support staff, and the players, that's when you start to really settle in and be able to kind of do what you do, which is coach.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now, and this is what I like what Liam Cohen is doing. He's hiring, and hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. He hiring white folks with a little bit of soul in them. You know what I mean? The whole coach staff, from what I'm seeing, the Anthony Campanelli and the Liam Cohen, they got a little bit of soul in them. A little bit of soul in them. That's what we need. That's what we need. You know what I mean?
What kind of a reaction have you had during the interview process? And I don't know, have you ever had to interview for a staff before?
Yeah.
First time head coach?
Actually,
Like they you look at them. Look at them. They might have been black in their past life.
last year, when took the offensive coordinator
That's a
position in
winning
Tampa,
formula.
ended up having to hire 5 coaches. So went through that process. You get great support from your team, the people that are with you, and then you find out through coaches, right? What's better to ask other coaches about
Hey boy, that till look good on you too, boy.
people they've either worked with, and then you start to holler at some of the players that maybe were coached by these guys to get a little bit of a better feel for it. But man, the process is going great so far, and hope to have some of these guys here soon.
Let's rewind back to Rhode Island days as a kid.
Hey, I almost is that a Rolex? Is that a Rolex, Liam?
When did you first realize that this was a possibility or something you wanted to do as a professional? I know you grew up in it, your dad was in it, but when did it become a realization that I could be a coach?
Somewhere I would say in between Pop Warner football days and when you start to get into high school, the dream, right? You start to envision what you really want to do in life. And all I ever wanted to do was be my dad in a lot of ways, right? But I wanted to be a player. I wanted to be Michael Jordan. I wanted to be Tom Brady.
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. I give you Kyle Brady. Michael Jordan, no, I don't know.
All those things, but you start to take
Not
shape,
that much
right?
soul.
Both parents were teachers, and you start to understand that education is something you want to always be involved in. And then you start to move into the coaching ranks, but it started at a young age where I realized that this was probably something I was going to do at some point in my life.
And here you are now, talking to me as an NFL head coach.
Yeah.
You know, it's been an astronomical
Hello.
rise as well. 5 seasons in the NFL, a couple stops in college. So, being a first-time head coach with not a lot of NFL time in the grand scheme of things, how do you earn the trust of an organization and a locker room and the ownership group and everything that comes with being the head coach?
I can answer that. He gonna have to be consistent. He's going to have to take accountability. He's going to have to be connected to his players. Like, if I'm the coach, I ain't going to lie, I'm probably texting all of my players. I'm probably texting all my players, at least text. I'm at least texting them daily. You know what I mean? Just to show them I'm connected to them. You know, when people know that you connected to them, they do a lot more for you.
It just starts with honesty and communication, right? That when I was interviewed for the position, okay, what are the things that maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars can improve on? Here's my evaluation. This is an honest, open conversation that we're having. And then be able to go back and forth on some of those values, the moral compasses, the standards at which you want to kind of operate at, right? And then once we do get the staff in and the players in, it's having similar conversations just in a different way, right? And how do we reach all these guys in a different way? Everybody learns differently. Everybody adapts to change differently. And I think that's what's going to be important about getting our boots in the ground and really have a good understanding of, all right, these are the guys we're working with. How do we go make them better?
Liam, you mentioned the other day you want a team that's fast. That means fundamentally sound, attacking, situational masters, and tough mentally and physically. See, I paid attention.
That was
the
awesome.
other
I like
day.
that.
That was awesome.
I like
Where did
that.
that come from? Where did you build that identity of
that.
what you want this team to be?
Yeah, I think over
I like the fact that Liam Cohen also played quarterback. Doug Peterson played quarterback too, but He was a backup. You know what I mean? Career backup. And I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with that, but he kind of settled. He settled for the back seat. Liam was a starter. He didn't. I don't think he made it to the league or anything like that. But it don't even look like he was trying to make it to the league for real. I could be wrong.
Over the years, it starts to, as a player, right? You start to see as a player, okay, what is the style of play you want to kind of work with? I wasn't the best athlete in the world. I was a pro-style quarterback that was able to distribute the ball to some really good players and manage a run game, manage the defense in ways, right? Then you start to get into the ranks and you start to meet coaches that have a strong impact and influence in your career. And that has been the consistent kind of theme is, all right, we want to play this game at the fastest level. We want to make the defense defend every blade of grass, attacking at all times. And then we've got to be really understanding of situational football, 2-minute
like a Jaguar should.
Things we got to make sure we do. But the number one thing that we have to make sure we are is resilient, and that's mentally and physically tough.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, I'm sure it came up early in your interview with Shad Khan, but the question of Trevor Lawrence and how do you maximize the potential of the quarterback? What was your answer, if you don't mind sharing that, and what are your plans for the quarterback?
Trevor needs you to just bleed confidence in him. You hear me? He needs you to bleed confidence in him. Like all the confidence in you, take that shit, take it up out of you and give it to Trevor. You know what I mean? My man just had a baby. I know what that does to a man. It makes you, it definitely changes you for the better. So this is the time. This is the time, man. You got to just breed confidence in my man Trevor Lawrence, man. T-Law. That's what's going to get him there. That's what's going to get him there. Hey, look. I'm answering the questions for him. He don't even need to answer the question.
It's a great question. Trevor's an extremely talented football player. He's a quarterback in the sake of the word, right? When you watch his purest throw, I mean, that looks like what you really kind of want to build in a lab in a lot of ways, right? Tall, big, strong, athletic. Those are unbelievable things. And then you start to get to know him a little bit, right? You start to hear the humility and what he wants to bring to this city and to this organization. That's exciting, right? And that's where you looked at it like, man, he's willing. He's very much so capable. He's shown to do so before. Now, how do we help him around, right? How do we help around him be better in the run game, defend it a little bit better to make sure that, hey, we can maximize him to be at his best when his best is required?
How are you balancing your time right now? What fills your schedule each and every day?
Oh, excuse me, reporter. I just got to stop this to say, Duval.
Hey, what are you doing?
Well, the time is limited at the moment, as you know. Trying to organize the staff, right? That is the first and foremost thing that we're trying to get accomplished right now, is to make sure that we search high and low, that we interview as many people as we can to try to gain knowledge, but also to understand that this is about the players, as I mentioned the other day, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power, college, pro level, wherever it may be, to make sure that we're getting the best out of these guys, and then also starting to get to know the players on the roster a little bit more, having some conversations, hopefully more over this weekend. That's the priority at the moment. That's all it is, man. And then trying to get home on a FaceTime to go see my kids and my wife.
I was gonna say,
talk to me nice.
Are they gonna get up here? You gotta live somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably haven't had time for any of that.
No, we'll be here. They went back to Tampa, and I'll be here throughout the week, really trying to make this staff thing circle up and get this thing done here. And then, okay, maybe next week before the Super Bowl, if possible, maybe we'll be able to get back to them and see them for the weekend. But we're trying to figure that part out. All I know is that
Liam, you're going to see your wife. You're going to see your wife. Don't rush this process. You're going to see your wife. And take a break. Take a break, man. Shit. You know, the wife, the kids, man, shit. That's a heavy. They don't talk about how heavy the toll is when you got your wife, your kids, and you with them every day, all day. You know what I mean? Managing the emotions in the house. You got to manage everything. It's a lot on a man, too. Take the break. Build the team.
It looks like there's going to be some pretty good options.
Look, you see me? Take a break. Build the team.
For us.
Yeah, you're probably living in this building right now with the time you're working these days. Final couple of minutes with you here. What do Jags fans need to know about you?
we want to put together a product that they're proud of. And what does that look like? What we just mentioned in terms of that FAST acronym, but that toughness, the resiliency. Everybody goes through adversity in life, whether it's a town, a community, a city, an organization. Well, we're all at that point right now that we need to see some results, and we've got to get this thing back on track. And I hope that they would know that, the resiliency's there, the care factor, the trust, hopefully, that we can build upon. But I'm very committed to trying to get this thing right for this city and for this organization.
That's a soul, brother. That's a soul, brother. Strong side. Left side. Strong side. Left side. That's a soul
Can I
brother
get one
right
of these
there,
like,
man.
hooded sleeveless vest
I
things?
want one
The
too.
guys-
man.
Pass those around,
I don't
or
see 'em in the- I
It's
don't see 'em in the
patented,
store.
I guess, at the moment, but I'll
Hey, Jordan DeLugo, get you Jordan DeLugo. Shout out Jordan DeLugo, man. Jaguars, man. He be keeping up with all the Jaguars news. Jordan DeLugo, get that little half jacket, man. Put that joint on your store, man. I'll buy it.
tell you what, the guys have done a phenomenal job here of trying to get some of the gear from that I was able to wear in Tampa. Big George has done a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. Coach, good luck to you in the early stages here, and appreciate the time as always.
Thank you so much.
That's my coach. That's my coach.